There, now it works. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
While we're getting the sharing set up properly, how now we've had this nice demo, and I think, well, if I was learning here, um, most of the things I would have understood, hopefully. And well, now I know from own experience, I've learned it now. I've heard this all this, and I think I understand it. But in a week or so, I will realize I forgot half of it, and I actually didn't really understand the details of this aspect. So where do I go? What can I do? Help!
So I can answer to this question with our beautiful help page. So in our web pages that hopefully are already familiar to you, we have a section all dedicated to help. We even have a video actually there a few years ago in a similar workshop like this one. We had a guest, Radovan Bast from Code Refinery / Norway. He gave a nice short video on how to ask for help, because often sometimes the problem you have, it might not be exactly, the actual problem that you might be having. And so if you know that you might have a problem, or even if you don't know what type of problem, there are multiple ways of getting help from us. Maybe the one out of the many ways, the one that I can mention is the so-called Garage, which is a daily Zoom session that we are hosting at 1 p.m. And the barrier is extremely low. You might not even know what is your question or what is your problem. And it's not even limited to Triton or to, parallel processing or things like that. We get people that, they might just need basic IT help, or we even get people with questions related to privacy, ethics, security, even though we are not maybe the best persons at Aalto to answer this question, but we most likely know someone who is the best person. So the barrier is extremely low. Just come there every day at 1 p.m. And then, of course, when things get a little bit more complicated, they start to become more like a consultation. And so for that, we have the issue tracker, where you can basically paste a bit of your code and, something that cannot be solved quickly within the 1 hour of the Garage session. And of course, that's the documentation that we have here. In general, also we try to also host some focus days in the Garage. So now I open the Garage page, and so sometimes we get guests from some departments as key, so the IT services from those departments. And sometimes, for example, we have these special days. So recently we've been running the COMSOL multi-physics focus day every Wednesday. So if you know that you're gonna use COMSOL and you're not sure if your setup is, optimal with Triton, then that is the place to come for with. So yeah, basically this is the how to get help. Maybe we still have a few minutes. I could talk about kind of where to go from here. In this page, which is the same page where there's the upcoming courses that we are hosting / co-hosting. If you scroll to the bottom, there's also this nice picture that Richard drew a few years ago, which is kind of the skills map when it comes to computing in general, scientific computing. So most of you here, for example, have the type of basic skills that I even briefly cover in the morning, understanding, the hardware and the software that you might be using. And then, of course, sometimes you need something a little bit more specific to your field, whether it's, simulations or whatever is the kind of more science related skills. And then we start going that, before going to the cluster and HPC and other more advanced uses that or tools that we can use along with our coding and scientific computing, it's important to, learn the Linux shell, and sometimes not just type in a few commands, but as you already saw today, sometimes you need to write a script. So those scripts that you saw today, they were so-called Slurm scripts, but in practice they are shell scripts. And then on top of that, this is where we are here today in learning how cluster and HPC are working. When it comes to scientific coding, there are more courses that we offer. And in this I'm going to mention that exactly 1 month from today, we have the next round of the Code Refinery workshop. You can already register at this link. The Code Refinery workshop is 6 half days that are basically covering the basics of, where is the schedule? I don't see it here. No, this is actually the lessons, but oh yeah, it was here above, sorry. Yes, Code Refinery March 25. So the first 3 days, the first week of Code Refinery covers everything about Git version control. And we also cover kind of how to use GitHub and the features that GitHub provides so that you can create issues, pull requests, and so on. So it's very useful for this type of collaborative coding. And then the second half focuses on reproducibility, specifically the so-called computational reproducibility, and kind of basically a little bit more kind of, how could I say, best practices when it comes to scientific computing. So automated tested and this type of continuous integration and modular code development and so on. So basically, the last thing that I want to mention before we go for lunch break is also that we have been running many of these courses in the past, and almost everything is available in our YouTube channel, so you can kind of retake a past course. But if you feel that it would be nice that we do a rerun of a past course, or maybe if you feel that something is missing in your curriculum and you would really need something, new that we've never been running, we have this form where you can basically request reruns of older courses or a run of new courses. And so here you see a long list of, GitHub, Python, Julia. This is the one where we are right now, Introduction to HPC, and so on. So I think this is all covered for today. Maybe I mention now for the exercises. The exercises will happen in Zoom, and the reason is that we will not be recording what happens in the exercises room, so you are free to, use your microphone, show your screen if you're having an error that you want us to look at. We will split in multiple rooms depending on what you want to test or what you want to learn. In room number 1, we will basically go through all the exercises on the Triton tutorials one by one, from connection to the login node up to running these array jobs and other parallel things. So this is highly recommended if you recently got a Triton account but basically never really used Triton. Room 2 is more for helps if you have issues with connecting to Triton or other issues that could be related to Triton account. And room 3 will be a little bit more advanced, where for those users who already are maybe familiar with connecting to Triton and running some SBatch Slurm jobs, but maybe your needs are, you might be needing GPUs or more advanced parallelization. And then we have one room dedicated to how to use large language models. And on Triton, we actually store already some popular open source language models, and we have even a little bit of examples on how to run those local models. So this is, kind of a hands-on way for testing that. And finally, room number 5 is the speech to text, which is a tool that's been used a lot by Aalto doctoral researchers, where, for example, the need of this tool is that you might be collecting an interview, so in the form of speech, and this is a tool that transcribes the interview into text. And for security and for confidentiality, this all runs on Triton, so you don't need to, upload your sensitive interview outside of the Aalto network. And so for those who are interested in that, you can try speech to text with demo in room number 5. It's 12 o'clock. I think we are done. Is there anything to bring up from the notes or?
I would say that please give us feedback at the end of the notes. Like at the end of the notes, there's this quick polling, and you can give us also like feedback at the end. So please give us feedback on how did you find the course. Like, but this is the first time we have done this kind of like a 1-day quick kickstart, and it's good to get feedback on how it went in your mind. So please leave us like good and negative feedback, both welcome, because that will make the course better.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So have a good rest of the day. Hopefully some of you will join us for the exercises in Zoom. And
Yeah. Great. Thanks a lot. See
thanks a lot.
you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.